Hello everyone, welcome to our new video and a new lesson on the Think Students Book series A2. Think 1 and let's get started!
We're just going to do a quick reminder of the objectives of our unit. So as we said last time, so our unit is divided into three parts, the parts of functions, grammar, and vocabulary. So the first part of functions will be talking about past events and saying what do you like doing alone or with others. These things we have seen last session, and talking about friends and friendship. In grammar, we'll talk about past simple, irregular verbs, and double genitives, and past simple questions. In vocabulary, past time expressions and personality adjectives. So we have seen on the last session quite a few things of this list, but today we will see new things, of course. So let's start our first exercise, our first lesson. Please go to page 58, exercise 1, grammar. So the first exercise we will be talking about irregular verbs. Read these sentences about the article on page 57. All the verbs are in the past simple. How are the verbs in number 1 different from the verbs in number 2? So let's see what's the difference between, we have two columns here in front of you. If you want, you can just look into the slides here, or of course you have to look into your books, but let's see on the slide first. So we have, she liked singing, they started as a duo, some people laughed. So the verbs we have here, for example, on the first sentence we have liked. Liked is the simple past or past simple of the verb to like. And the second one, they started as a duo. Started. Started is the past simple of verb start, to start. And the last one, some people laughed. Some people laughed. The verb to laugh is laughed is the past simple of the verb to laugh. So what do we see in this column? We see that all the verbs we have liked, started, and laughed, they ended with ed, right? So these are regular verbs. On the second column, column number 2, we have, they sang together, people stood up. We came here as a duo. So we came here, not we came to here. We came here as a duo. So we have the first sentence, the verb to sing. Sung is the simple past of the verb to sing. Sung, sung. On sentence number 2, we have stood up. People stood up. This is the past simple of the verb stand up. We came. The verb to come. Came. Came is the past simple of the verb to come. So we have the first column and the second column. Two different kind of verbs. The first one is regular verbs, and the second one is irregular verbs. So we have liked, started, loved, and on the second column we have sung, stood up, came. So this is the difference between column 1 and column 3 and column 2 is that the first verbs are regular verbs and the second ones are irregular verbs. So now let's go to exercise number 2. We have look back at the article on page 57. Write the past simple forms of the verbs. So here we have a list of verbs. We have find, which becomes in the past simple found. So we need to go back to page 57. We have the article here and we need to look for these verbs. So we have become, go, see, think, come, give, make. Let's go back to the text or the article and see what can we find there. So the first one is become. Let's see. In school in England. Yeah, here we have they also became good friends. So this is the first one. They also became. So become, it's in the simple past, it's became. And go. However, Charlotte persuaded him and they went on to the show. So the verb go in the past simple is went. Number 3, see. The verb to see in the simple past, let's look for it. So some people in the audience laughed when they saw them. So the verb to see in the simple past is saw. Number 4 is think, the verb to think. Let's look for it here. All the judges thought. All the judges thought Charlotte and Jonathan were great. The verb to think in the simple past is thought. Okay, number 5, come. They didn't win the competition, they came second. Came. The verb to come in the simple past is came. And the number 6 is give. So a few weeks later, Simon Cowell gave them the chance. Gave. Gave is the simple past of verb to give. And the last one, make. Make. They made the CD, made. So now I'm going to show you the list of these verbs as I make them into a table. You can copy them if you want. So this is all the verbs we have here. So we have found, became, went, saw, thought, came, gave, made. So let's go to exercise number 3. Find at least 4 more irregular past simple forms in the article on page 57. Write the verbs. So we need to go back to the article on page 57 and look for the irregular past forms. Let's do that. I already made a list, but we need to find them in the text. So we're going to do that quickly. So let's start. So I made the verb to hear is heard. Heard. So a teenage girl heard a boy singing in another room. So heard. The next one is found. She liked it and found out that boy's name was Jonathan Antoine. Found. Do, the verb to do, did. Okay, so the music teacher at school suggested that they could sing together. They did. So the next one is became. They started singing together as a duo. They also became good friends. Became. The next one is the verb to sing, sung. They even sung together at the music teacher's wedding. Let's go to the next one. The verb to be was. Around that time, there was a television program called Britain's Got Talent. Britain's Got Talent. The next one is begin. The verb to begin, begun. Let's see. So they began to sing and everyone was amazed. And before that we have go, went. We have go, went, and we have the verb to see, saw, which we already seen on the first day. When they saw them, then they began to sing and everyone was amazed. We have verb to be again. So the next one is stand up. The verb stood up. The people stood up and clapped. Next one, thought. The verb to think. All the judges thought Charlotte and Jonathan were great. And the next one is give. Simon Cowell gave them the chance to record the CD. And the last one is the verb to make, made. They made the CD and then they thought about the title. This is all for exercise number 3.
Our lesson came to an end. See you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Bye bye.